The Mole Season 2 is getting closer to the end, but not before a lot more drama happens. Alliances break down and production throws us some serious curveballs. We were left with probably the most insane cliffhanger in those last batch of episodes. So I knew that this next batch was going to bring us hit after hit. So I usually do this later in the video, but this video will contain spoilers for The Mole Season 2, episodes 6 through 8. So if you have not seen these episodes and you don't want it to be spoiled for you, save this video and come back and watch it after you watch the episodes. I have no interest in spoiling anything for y'all. So seriously, if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it first, because we about to get right into spoilers off top, because everything was crazy in these episodes. In the craziest turn of events, Niche is actually the one who spent the entire pot on an exemption. Now let's think about this for a second. Why would he admit that he was the one who spent the money? He didn't have to. He could have kept that to himself. Ari was asking, hey, does the person who did it want to say that they're the person who did it? He could have stayed quiet. I don't know why he decided to put himself out there like that. Now, when that was all happening, I was like, there's only one person who would have willingly given up the information and said they were the one who did it, and that's the Mole, because the Mole doesn't care if there's a target on their back, because they can't go home anyway. So I really did think he was the Mole, because I was like, why would you tell everybody that you did that, knowing that they're going to be like, why the hell did you do that? Then on the flip side, I'm like, well, the Mole can't really reveal themselves, so maybe the Mole wouldn't have done that. Funny enough, Niche was not even on my radar as the Mole. I was telling a couple of y'all in the comment section, ever since that first challenge where everybody ganged up on him and then made it seem like he wanted to be the leader even though they're the ones who made him be the leader, I've kind of had, I guess, a little bit of a soft spot for Niche, because I'm like, they all ganged up on him and I didn't like that. I'm an empath, so I was like, I don't like how y'all all attacked him like that. It wasn't really vibing with me. So I kind of took him off my radar. Basically, I was like, they were mean to him and I didn't like that, so he can't be the Mole. And that, my friends, is why I review these TV shows and I'm not on these TV shows, because I would never actually be good at the gameplay. I just like talking about it. You know what else I like talking about? Water and drinking it. However, one of you was suspecting Niche, and I was actually starting to be on your side with it. Of course, we know what happened to him later, but I was actually starting to think that you may have been right. One of y'all said, how on earth is everyone not suspecting Niche? He had the most Mole-like behavior. Melissa going home is just a throw off by producers. He has never complained about losing money. In that trip of 3, he was the least contributing. He spent $5K in that apartment, and he spent $59,500 in that challenge. That aside, Niche had a really good reason for taking all the money, and his reason was essentially payback.
I have been pretty unselfish this game. First mission, I was almost gone. During the shipping crate mission, everyone else played selfishly. This exemption is mine.
And then he doubled down and said, listen, I'm not even going to apologize for doing it, because truth be told, I'd do it all over again. And you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at the honesty. He said if he had the opportunity, he'd do it again.
To say sorry would be even more disingenuous, not because I don't feel bad, because I would do it again.
Man would do it again. Hey y'all, it's Nate. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. You are about to hear my thoughts on The Mole Season 2, episodes 6 through 8. But of course, I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation. And give this video a like before you go, so I know you enjoyed it. If you missed my videos on episodes 1 through 5, you can find them on my The Mole playlist on my channel, right at the top. Now, Niche also came through at the last minute during that conversion bomb challenge. Not as last as somebody else, Michael, but he did come through last minute. So honestly, I was kind of like, damn, he might be the Mole, coming in all late, pretending like he knew the answer and it was so easy to convert it. But then he went home right after that, and I was like, okay, so he wasn't the Mole. And that's why I love this game. It just always constantly keeps you guessing, constantly keeps you on your feet. You think you might know who the Mole is, but I really feel like you never really know. Now that could be karma coming right back around to bite him in the ass, because he drained the entire pot, but nevertheless, he went home. Now, y'all already know it hurt my little heart to see Q go home. I was like, please, Netflix, give us an all-star season, even though y'all only have 2 seasons. Give us an all-star season and get my boy back on this show. He was just such a likable contestant. I feel like he never really did anything messed up, and that might have been to his detriment at the end of the day. But I feel like he was just such a good contestant. He wanted the money in the pot. He said that from day one. He came there with that necklace representing his mother. Like, he was pretty solid guy. So he's hard not to fall in love with. I think he is a fan fave. He's definitely my fave. I don't know. When Q went home that first time, I have a feeling that he either put all of his answers on Niche during the quiz, because after Niche drained the pot, he was like, oh, clearly he's the Mole. So he either did that, or he was just so distraught because all the money was gone that he didn't really know what to do, and he was just answering haphazardly. So imagine my surprise and happiness when they bring him back. I was like, they're bringing him back. This is great. I don't know if they did anything like that in season 1, But I was so happy that they brought him back. Now, the way that they brought him back, at least on the surface, was very interesting. So they put it up for a vote, and they let the other cast members decide, hey, would you want to see Q come back? If you say yes, you'll get $20,000 and he'll come back. If you say no, then the answer is no. Now, up until that point, everybody had been pretending, oh, we love Q, we want to see Q come back. I mean, they even clapped for him when he left. They were like, we're sad to see Q go. So putting them in a situation where it's like, let's see how sad you were. Would you bring him back for money, knowing that it would just add another person to the game? Now, in hindsight, all of us really should have known, because this is kind of standard gameplay. If someone is brought back into a game, you pretty much know that a 2-person elimination is coming, because they have to make up for that person that they brought back. So we should have known that. But that aside for right now, I think it was a great test to be like, look, y'all claimed that y'all missed him, y'all was crying, y'all was sad. Show us how bad you miss him and bring him back. And I really think it's just like Niche said. Everybody has been playing a selfish game. They want to act like they're all in for the team when they're with the team. But when they're in private and they're sending those texts to Ari, they doing whatever is good for them. And again, that's what they should be doing. This is a game. This is how the game is played. And you know what? The majority of the cast proved that by voting no. They are playing for themselves. But as we all know, Netflix is never done being petty. I just love them for how petty they are. And their votes to let him back in aren't really much of anything aside from the fact that he has to guess who said yes and who said no. But basically the votes don't mean anything inherently. Now, Q comes back because he accurately states how many people said yes, how many people said no. And Muna is the reason that he got that right.
I said you're wasting your time doing this. It's 4-3. 3 people said yes, and 4 people said no.
And then we know he gets eliminated again. And it stung that time too. I know how bad he wanted and needed this money, and I know other people do too, but he's made it very vocal. He's been very vocal about the fact that this money would change his life, and it just hurts to see somebody like that who really needs it go. I think it was The Trust, if you've seen that show. It's kind of like The Mo, but a little bit of a different concept. I didn't cover season 1, but I'll definitely be covering season 2. I kind of watched it later. But in The Trust, another Netflix show, they had someone on there who was a millionaire. And he started off not telling anybody that he was a millionaire, but he's playing a game for money, right? And you know that there are people who come on shows like this who don't necessarily need the money. They're just in it for the love of the game, which I think is great. I think that's fantastic. For example, if you just love the game of Survivor, you want to play that, that's fine. But when you meet someone whose lives would genuinely change because of that money, it hits different, because I think the majority of us can relate. I can relate to that. If I even got an extra $50,000 right now, it would change my life. If I even got an extra, if I got an extra 20, if I got an extra 10, it probably changed my life right now. So you just feel for someone like that who is expressing that the money will be life-changing. Now, I will say, when they brought him back for a tiny smidgen of a time, I was like, I think he was the Mo. Now, hear me out. It would be so easy for production to pretend that the Mo was eliminated just to throw people off, and then make sort of a workaround to get him back in the game. The workaround being that the votes don't really matter. They got him back in the game, and of course he's the Mo, so he would know how many people voted yes, how many people voted no. He would pretend not to know, take some cues from Muna or whoever else, and he would be back in the game. Now, I just had a damn thought. Why would Muna tell him? Maybe she did want to just start playing an honest game, but honestly, Muna might be the Mo too, because why would she tell him that? I don't know. Now, if the vote for him to come back was a majority vote, I wouldn't even be saying that, but because it wasn't actually a majority vote, it seemed kind of manufactured at the time, because production could have essentially picked the outcome. So I was definitely a little bit suspicious. All that said, I actually do think that production genuinely liked Q, and they did throw him a bone and try to bring him back. He just wasn't good at taking the quizzes, and that's why he went home again. But I do think they invited him back because they liked him. They probably knew that he would be a fan fave. They knew that getting him back in the game would be good for fans, viewership, morale, whatever. So they did try to throw him a bone, but they can't give him the answers to the quiz, right? So he did have to kind of do that part on his own, and he just didn't have a good handle on who the Mo was. He was doing so damn good in that cave challenge too.
I was looking at the symbols, and they looked like they were mirroring numbers. So the first number looked like it was 1, it looked like it mirrored 2, it looked like it mirrored 3.
Now, Deanna has me a little bit worried. During the cave challenge, she was saying she's claustrophobic, so she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it through. And I was worried that she wasn't going to make it through. And then she ended up being one of the people who got kidnapped, and I was like, why would they put a black bag over this woman's face after she just said she was claustrophobic as hell? Like, talk about it was random. No, they put her in that bag on purpose. They was like, let's shake it up a little bit. And unfortunately, she was the person on the side with the phone initially. So when that first phone call came through, she answered it. Knowing that she only had 15 seconds, She sat there in silence, not saying anything, for damn near the 15 seconds.
You hear me?
Hi, I have 15 seconds, yes,
Okay, what do you see, what do you hear, and what can you smell?
Okay, I think we're on water. Yeah.
I mean, she truly spoke the slowest that I've ever seen anyone speak in my entire life. She's like, yes, I have 15 seconds. Okay. And then just stood there like a statue, stiff as hell. Luckily, the sponsor of today's video knows nothing about stiff. So I know that I'm still a super small YouTuber, and truth be told, this is the very first sponsorship that I've ever had, so I guess go me. But when I record videos, I want to make sure that the quality is good for a new YouTuber, and that the quality improves over time and I get better and better over time. And that also includes how I show up on camera. While I absolutely love my natural hair, and you'll see it in most of my videos, sometimes I just want to switch it up. Now, I am growing a small but mighty wig collection, and Irresistible Me just helped me add my first vegan fiber wig to that collection. Irresistible Me has everything from human hair wigs, to vegan fiber wigs, to clip-ins. Now, I had never had a vegan fiber wig, so I was a little skeptical at first, and I wasn't sure what to expect. But I was surprised that it's actually really soft. It does feel like kind of a middle ground between human hair and synthetic hair. It is a type of synthetic hair, but it's softer and it's less tangly. I do wish it was a little bit more filled in, maybe for an updo, but for this medium to low pony like I have it now, it works. Especially for those days where I'm in between wash day, or I just want a different look for a video or for running errands, it is coming in clutch. This vegan fiber wig is made of 100% vegan fiber, and it can be heat styled up to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. You can check out Irresistible Me's entire collection on their website, irresistibleme.com, and use my code I'mNay for 10% off your order. Thank you so much to Irresistible Me for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching this portion of the video. Now, a lot of you are suspecting Ryan, who is another person who just wasn't on my Mo radar. My Modar? I don't know. It's a work in progress. But y'all really do got me thinking, and I don't really know if I like her reasoning for saying no to Q coming back.
Bringing someone back who just took a quiz, they have an upper hand coming back into this game.
No way. He knows way too much.
The Mo would definitely be afraid that Q knows too much. And she also outed Sean as a cop, so I feel like as we get closer to the end of the game, the mole is probably starting to throw people under the bus, you know what I mean? But what really made me go, something might not be right with Ryan, is how she did on that damn challenge when they were kidnapped in the temple. She was also answering really slowly, just like Deanna was, but she sounded like she was out of breath or something. Now, granted, it's probably hot there. I don't know. She could have been out of breath. They moving around, but I just found it suspicious because the name of the game is to find everything suspicious. Why did she say that that Big Ben clock was a statue? She legitimately had everyone running around looking for a statue. Now, we all know what a statue is, right? And that ain't it.
If you were looking out a window and saw a big building with the clock on it, that's not a statue. That's a clock tower.
And then we have Michael, who has literally been on my Mo hit list since day one. I felt like he dragged out that conversion bomb challenge. He actually waited to the last 5 minutes to open up the clue. Now, granted, Ryan didn't want to open it either, and the Mo would know what was in there, so it would be in the Mo's interest not to open up the clue. You know what? Can 2 people be the Mo? Because right now, Ryan and Michael are looking like the Mo. Like, they are 2 Mo's in cahoots. And then they ended up cutting the wrong wire, and the answer was literally handed to them, and then being like, well, we didn't hear you guys. They might be working together, I don't know. Now, when it comes to Hannah, it could be said that she sabotaged that cave challenge. Niche said no to the fish, and out of spite, she was like, then I want to do the fish, because she was still mad at him for draining the pot. At least that's what it looks like. She could have been doing it out of spite, or she could have been doing it because she's the Mo. I guess we'll find out next week. And then with the conversion bomb challenge, is she exceptionally good at math, or just a genius, or just it wasn't that hard? Or maybe she's the Mo and she knew how to do it. I also do think it was interesting that Hannah was able to maneuver her way into having the lunch with Ari. She's definitely a suspect on everyone's list, at least I think she is. I think every person who's left at one point or another has suspected her as being the Mo. So why they chose her to go have lunch, I have no idea. And then Sean and Muna. Now, Sean is so busy pretending to be the Mo that I don't even think he the damn Mo anymore. He's like, I gotta ask to open the clues so they don't think it's me. Like, he's so focused on looking suspicious that he can't possibly be the one who's the Mo. His strategy is to have everyone think it's him, have them score low on the quizzes, therefore keeping him in the game. And it's a good strategy, I can't deny it. So long as he doesn't do worse than them on his own quizzes, he'll stay in the game. And then Muna, she's still a suspect on my list, but she has dropped down significantly. And I'm not really too concerned about that whole key situation. They were in a panic. They had about 15 minutes left. They were all in the front room. That could have been led by the mole. I don't know. She went to the back. She found a key. She thought it was one. She said, let's go back. We only have 15 minutes. By then, probably even less. Maybe she genuinely didn't see that second key. So to me, that's not really that suspicious. You guys are in the heat of the moment. You're running around. Y'all didn't find either of the keys. So I don't know why y'all suspicious about her. These episodes had some great challenges. I do think I could have been on the water team in the cave, but you definitely would have lost me doing that conversion challenge. Not only because America refuses to adopt the metric system, but because numbers give me anxiety. I'm not converting a damn thing. I would have had to sit that one out and they would have been like, clearly you're the mole, but really I just don't like numbers. And then the challenge creators for this game show love a prisoner's dilemma. We've seen it, I feel like, at least once or twice during this season. And we saw it again with the choose 50K or choose an exemption or get nothing challenge. And that thing was tense. In the end, both Muna and Sean didn't trust each other, and clearly they shouldn't have, because both of them went against what they said they were going to do. So I guess it worked out that they both chose exemption and nobody got nothing. You would like to think in a perfect mole world with rainbows, butterflies, and cotton candy that everybody could trust each other and their sole goal could be getting money added to the pot. But that's just not what this team is about, and they got nothing out of that. Now, next week is the finale, so let's go over my final picks, which, by the way, are not finalized because I still have no idea who the mole is. So left we have Ryan, Michael, Hannah, Sean, Muna, and Deanna. From my least suspicious to my most suspicious. Deanna, there's some things that she does that's suspicious, but I'm just not seeing it. Sean, like I said, I feel like he's too focused on trying to look suspicious that I don't think he actually is the mole. Muna, I know she started off as my top pick for mole, but she's kind of ran it back a little bit. I'm just not seeing it. She decided to let Q back in the game. I don't know. I just don't think she is. Hannah, she's still high on my list. She's top 3 on my list, but I don't necessarily think she's number 1 on my list. Now, y'all got in my head that Ryan is moving real suspicious-like. So now, I don't know if I should put her at my number 1 pick for Mo or Michael at my number 1 pick for Mo. I think I'm going to put Michael number 1, put Ryan number 2. So my top 3 for Mo would be Michael, Ryan, Hannah. One of those 3 is the Mo. I'm pretty confident. We'll see what happens. But Michael is my top pick because basically something seems off with him, and it's something that seemed off with him since day 1. It seems like he threw, or at least tried to throw, every single challenge that he's been in or had some kind of big role in. Let me know who your top pick is ahead of the finale, and I will see you here next Friday to discuss who the winner is, who the mole is, and all the things in the finale. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye! Okay, I got Billy. I don't really need it, but Billy. I love you till the day that I die. Insane Cliffhaver. Cliffhaver? What is a Cliffhaver? You know who need to be sponsoring me? Black Girl Sunscreen, Black Girl Lip Gloss, because I wear them all the time. And whoever makes these slippers from Target. Love these. I just keep buying new variations of these slippers. I just want to get her. Niche is the one. Am I saying that man's name right? Look, please let it be Niche, because that's what I'm going with this whole video, and I hope that's right. Is this not on? Ooh, this is not on. I need that on. Oh no, I need it on autofocus. Back that up. Run it back. That's what I needed. Now, Shadow, why you knock my cup over? My rabbit just knocked my cup over. He's a hater. Bless you, guy. My rabbit sneezing. My hands